Well, good morning, my friends. Welcome to another Live Inspired with John O'Leary. I think we learn an awful lot on how to treat the people around us by paying close attention to those nearest us, whether that's family, coworkers, bosses, children, teachers, rabbis, pastors. We learn a lot about how to treat others when we have our eyes and our hearts open to just keeping an eye out for those around us. And I learned an awful lot as a young kid, as a young man, from my mom and my dad. Well, recently my dad has gone through the challenges, the struggles of Parkinson's disease. For those of you who may not know me well, you'll know that I adore my parents. I love my mother. I also adore my father. And my dad has had Parkinson's disease for almost 3 decades. That's a long time to carry around the cross of Parkinson's disease. He's had multiple surgeries, one of them just about a week ago. He's been in the hospital ever since, struggling, slowly recovering, trying to get back a semblance of his life. And on Saturday morning last week, my son Patrick and I went by the hospital to visit Grandpa, to visit my dad. We brought him some bagels. He loves sweets. We brought him some bagels. We were tiptoeing in, and the screen was pulled. So someone was already meeting with my dad. Maybe a visitor, maybe, who knows, they're changing him. Who knows what they're doing. So we slowly made our way up to the curtain, and we were able to tune in just for a little bit as my dad and this caregiver were talking back and forth. My father these days has a whisper-like voice. It's very quiet. It's almost impossible to make out unless you actually want to, unless you really want to hear what he's saying. And the cool thing about listening into this conversation was that the caregiver actually did want to hear what he had to say. I heard this conversation unfolding in front of me. Eventually, she said, "I remember you from 4 years ago when you were in." My dad whispered something back like, "Oh, there's no way. You have too many patients, too many charges, too many challenges, too many things going on in life to remember him." And yet this wonderful nurse, I'd learned later on, actually not a nurse, a physical therapist, did indeed remember him. My dad asked why, and she said, "Denny, it's not every day that we get treated with the highest level of respect, the highest level of care, the highest level of humor, and the highest level of love." My dad, even as he's going through Parkinson's disease, even as he is recovering from broken bones and struggles, even as he's having these mean, torturous therapists come into his room and demand that he get back to his feet, get back to life, get back to normalcy, whatever normalcy looks like today for a Parkinson's patient. As they walk him through the struggles that are always involved in therapy, even then, my dad would treat these people, these ladies, these gentlemen, with respect, with dignity, with humor, with love. I find in life when we focus solely on our aches, on our pains, on our brokenness, that our life very quickly stumbles downward, that we become a shallow, hollowed out version of who we once were. And yet when we choose instead to focus in gratitude on those around us, when we realize that they are putting us through the difficulty we have in front of us right now out of love, to get us back on our feet, to get us back home one day, when we're able to focus on their life, on their struggles, on their hopes, on their children, on their work, it allows not only them to become better versions of themselves, but also for us to, for a moment, slide away from the difficulties we face to improve in who we are and what's possible and how we feel about ourselves and how we treat those around us. It's an opportunity we face and have in front of us, not only as we recover from surgeries in the hospital after 27 years of Parkinson's disease, but it's one we have the opportunity to embrace, to grab on, and to share as young men, as young women, as teachers, as doctors, as nurses, as parents, as grandparents, as leaders in life, in every interaction, every day, always. Grab onto that opportunity today. My parents have been doing this as long as I've been knowing them. They still are today, and it's an awesome challenge, I think, for each one of us to grab today, to become beautiful versions of who we are by loving well those around us. So my friends, this is John O'Leary. This is your day to live inspired.